It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Gamer Chat. Welcome back, everyone, to Epic Handshake Presents Gamer Chat. Today's episode, we're going to talk about games that we're currently playing, new demos that have come out, and also move away from the video game world into other forms of gaming that people are interested in and people can play. So, without any further delay, what games have you been playing in the last week since our last episode?
Well, not much. Actually, you and I have discovered a new game mode.
Always adventures.
In Halo Reach, which, I mean, I don't know how long it's been out for. It's probably been out for a while, but we found Griffball.
Griffball. Yes. Highly recommend playing it. It's a lot of fun.
It's like Halo football with hammers. I mean, do you need anything else?
What was the name of the stadium? The Impact Arena.
The Impact Arena.
One of the levels is called the Impact Arena, and as we were playing, we decided that was our home court.
So it's 4-on-4, and there's one ball in the middle, and there's a goal on either end. And the point is, your team pick up the ball, put it in that end zone, the little scoring circle, and it blows up, and the round ends. First to 3 wins. But it's great because just a couple dynamics. Like, everyone only has either a hammer or a sword, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, which anyone who's ever played Halo knows exactly what we're talking about and how ridiculous 8 people with hammers can actually be.
And they just throw like a couple other like little tweaks in there, like when you're holding the ball, you're faster. So there's like actually some strategy. If someone has the ball, they're a lot faster. But if you use a sword, you can lunge. So that's like a good defensive is to use a sword. But if you're on the offensive, the hammer is a lot more powerful than the sword.
And it's got that splash damage.
Right, so you'll most likely, take out the people with the swords on your way to the goal. But yeah, we were just playing a little bit, and we were getting really into it.
It was a lot of fun. We were screaming and running around, and it's funny because it's more than just chaos. Like, we were trying to have plays and stuff like that.
Yeah, we were setting up plays.
And form blocking walls to score and everything like that.
If you could get 4 people on a team, I bet you it could be a lot of fun.
I think so. It had we played on the same Xbox, so it was the split screen. And I think that enhanced the actual game.
Being there all together.
Being all together, just like the old games and stuff, screaming and high-fiving and stuff like that. Yeah, it'd be nice to play on your big screen TV, with your mic in. But I think, being together gave you that team sense.
I mean, and then we did celebrations when we scored.
Of course. Well, and it has other variations. There's different arenas. There's one game type that has jetpacks with unlimited flying.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun because...
And the goal is actually up in the air, so you actually have to, float into it.
And like I said, you have unlimited jetpacking, so you could stay in the air the entire time. So that was a lot of fun. But seeing that, fun game from a game that we'd played to death, all of a sudden, sparking this competitive multiplayer again, I really enjoyed.
And it's getting me excited for Halo 4.
Again, yeah, just in time for Halo 4.
So I'll just think about Halo 4 and then I'll pop reaching just to, turn it back on.
The prequel to the new one. I mean, I can't wait. I think Halo 4 is going to be Game of the Year.
We'll preview that.
Soon. Absolutely. November is a big month for gaming.
We have a lot of good game previews and reviews coming up.
Gamer Chat is going to probably be the show to watch come November. But recently I picked up Spec Ops: The Line. I was in the mood for a good war game, and I had beaten Battlefield 3 and all the Call of Duties and Medal of Honors and things like that. So I heard this game at Comic-Con and things get all these awards and critically acclaimed, and I was like, all right, I'll rent it because I wasn't sure how it'd be.
Well, you just started GameFly, right?
Right, I did just start GameFly.
So that's something I've been thinking a lot about is this GameFly.
Okay.
What do you think the value is as opposed to buying and then selling your games?
I think GameFly is good for the player who wants to play every game that comes out there.
Yeah.
You see Comic-Con, you see E3. Oh my God, there's 50 good games coming out that I really, really want to play, but I don't want to spend $60 on it. So
it's probably really good value for it.
Yeah, I think so. And you're never going to get, you're never going to make your money back all the way when you sell it back.
Yeah.
It's like you could literally buy it, open it, and hand it back, and it loses like $15. Like right off the bat. So I think GameFly is good because it'll give you those games that don't have a full multiplayer, that they're just a single once run through.
Right.
You can play it, beat it. My God, that was awesome. I really enjoyed it. Maybe play through it one more time. If not, send it back.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, nowadays, all the games are coming with multiplayer.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's like such a big component in every game.
Yeah.
And it's something I really enjoy. Like, because there's a lot of times I'll just want to play for like an hour, and I don't want to start up a game and get into a storyline. I'll just want to throw something on and play for a little bit. So,
and multiplayer gives that to you.
So,
but
anyway.
Back to Spec Ops. It was a solid shooter, had a great storyline. It was very disturbing.
I heard it was very disturbing.
Very, like, Heart of Darkness, Apocalypse Now, where your character just is in this war zone with his squad and just goes crazy. And, they're killing everyone they see. They're blowing up buildings left and right. And you're playing, you're like, oh my God, like, this is intense. But it's a solid game all the way through. It got me about 12 hours of gameplay. I took my time. I searched every room for bullets, for, they had little, like, hidden things that you could find that gave you some backstory of the characters. Again, solid game, good graphics. It had good mechanics in the whole shooter, thing, the shooter realm. I highly recommend, if you have GameFly, pick it up. If you're, waiting for a game and you have extra money to spend, I definitely recommend buying it. It's a solid game that kind of just like leaves you on edge after you're done playing it.
That's kind of how I felt after playing Medal of Honor, the most recent one. Kind of like, actually, the characters from that game kind of stuck with you, and you kind of like thought about it afterwards.
Yeah, of course. I think that just makes a good game.
Right.
Some developers taking the time to put a good story.
Right.
We're not just going to have gunfight after gunfight after gunfight, which, again, everyone plays the game for.
Right.
It's going to be this great storyline that makes you want to progress through it faster. And I think that's something games are really trying to move to. You're either going to have an awesome storyline, or you're going to need something to back it up, and that, like you said before,
awesome
is
multiplayer.
It's got to be a solid multiplayer.
Right.
You look at Call of Duty. Call of Duty's got a pretty good storyline, but it's very short and it's very quick. That game makes its money on multiplayer.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt.
You look at it, and it's like, like you said, I'm gonna go on, I'm gonna play 4 or 5 rounds of deathmatch, whatever it may be, and I'm gonna be happy about it. I don't need to play the campaign. And in my opinion, games need to have good multiplayer. Either it's online multiplayer or co-op. I'm a big fan of co-op games. You look at something like the Gears of War series. Nothing was more fun than linking up with a friend and flanking each other and helping them when the other person gets shot down. The big game Halo. The first Halo, I know we mentioned it in earlier episodes, still could be one of my favorite games of all time. Great co-op.
On that was good.
Great co-op. One person driving the Warhog, the other person working the turret. Just multiplayer is such a huge part of the game, and it amazes me when games don't add that.
Yeah, and it's becoming so like normal in games now that like you notice it when it's not there.
Right.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Like why doesn't there's other players on the screen with you? Why can't I do co-op?
Right.
With this
Exactly,
game.
yeah.
This game would be better if it was me and one other person and then our squad.
Right.
Whatever it may be. I think it's such a huge point, and I would love to see who decides not to add that in there.
Yeah, I mean, you can't like blame them. I mean, if they don't have the capabilities, they don't have the capabilities.
Okay.
But it's still, I mean, to have a game that's going to reach out to everyone, that's going to be an amazing game. You need to have this. You need to have something for the players that love the multiplayer also, as well as the single player.
Yeah, and you know what? that makes a game have a higher seller quality.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy this game because I know I'm going to put 100 hours of multiplayer in on this. You know, I beat, again, we keep bringing up Call of Duty. It's one of the November games. I will play through that campaign as quick as possible, and then it is all multiplayer. Yeah. It's all, you know, boosting up your character, unlocking better guns, unlocking different weapons and stuff. A smart idea in these multiplayer heavy games is to reward you for what you do with solid online play. You know, I think that is the future of gaming.
Well, yeah, I mean, you said it. Is my $60 worth the amount of entertainment I'm going to get out of this game?
Right.
Right. You know, and you want to feel like you would spend that $60 again to get that entertainment value back once you're done with it.
And don't get me wrong, there are single player games with single campaigns that are worth $60. You look at Skyrim.
Oh, absolutely.
You can put
I've played so many hours.
You can put 100 hours easily into Skyrim and just be scratching the surface.
Right.
And that game worth it.
Right.
You know, but these 10-hour games that are one and dones, like, wow. That sucks that I just dropped $60 on.
Right. The $60 is like so much for that, you know? But even like God of War 3, I mean, that was one of those. It was just like really crazy for like 4 hours, right? Yeah. And then that's it. But during those 4 hours, it was like insane.
Yeah.
So,
and you knew people were going to get it because you had such loyal fans from God of Wars 1 and 2. But I think games nowadays, with the prices of games, need to have solid campaigns, single-player campaigns, where it's long and almost open world, almost an MMO style, or epic multiplayer.
Yeah.
And you know, what Halo 4 is doing with the constantly updating multiplayer, I think that could be a huge jump to another level of gaming. You know, so I'm paying to download expansions of the game with all new content, you know, new storylines and things
kind of like MMOs have been in the past.
Right, kind of like MMOs have. And one game that, you know, we've brought up before and is one of the kings of multiplayer online gaming, Madden.
We talked about it last week. The demo has come out since. And we just wanted to update our preview with a little bit of actual feedback on how we felt about the demo.
Still hate the game. I still hate the game.
What did you find wrong with it?
Okay, just like we touched on previously, first thing you notice, Jim Nance, Phil Simms, excellent commentators. But playing my second game of the demo, the demo gives you either the 49ers versus the Giants, or what's it, the Seahawks versus the Chiefs?
Oh, I didn't even see. I thought it was just the Giants.
Yeah, I think you could switch to the Seahawks and the Chiefs. Anyways, it gives you those, and you can play an entire game with 5-minute quarters. It gives you a solid length of time. You can change the difficulty. You can't change playbooks. You can't change uniforms, anything like that. So I don't know if it's still the demo, like that it's a little bit buggy, or it's a glimpse of what's actually going to happen. Playing it a second and third game, you're starting to see the repeats in commentary. You're starting to see the bugs of tackling and stuff. It happened to me. I tackled Ahmad Bradshaw. He stood up. The play was over, and him and a defender kind of glitched against each other. One of them fell, and Phil Simms goes, "Well, there's an amazing tackle." like what? Like what? Again, I don't know if it's just the buggy demo.
It's probably. I mean, the repetitiveness is probably the demo.
Right.
Glitches. I mean, it is a demo, so it's not nearly complete yet. But I don't know. I mean, maybe there will be glitches like that in the actual game.
And we get into the actual gameplay. Running backs are awesome when they want to be. They're either a 3-yard loss or a 15-yard gain. Things like he's holding the ball out here but can still spin and not fumble. And I call bullshit again. Like everything we said last week, I want it to be real football.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
It's not going to be real football. It's not, because
in your opinion, I don't know. I mean, some of those things don't really bother me as much as they bother you, but my first impression was that it was It was pretty good. I mean, it really actually. I was expecting it to feel a lot different than it did. Like
it's faster.
It's faster for sure.
It's much
That's
faster.
the first thing you notice on the kickoff.
It's almost like a shaky cam, like in some points when it's like an off-tackle run or something. But kickoffs, definitely.
Yeah.
Everybody's faster.
Did you notice that the hit stick was a lot better this year?
I did not, actually.
Because I always, on defense, always do a hit stick. Because 2 years ago it was like really good.
Right.
And then last year hit stick sucked. And my guys would always just like duck and just completely miss the guys. But this year it was like actually, it was more fluid. Like it wasn't like you hit it and then your guy just went straight and put his head down.
Okay.
It was like he actually went for a tackle, but it was like a strong tackle.
I actually didn't notice it.
So that was one of the first things I noticed. Also, being a defender, I like to play as a linebacker. And I felt like my defender was a lot faster, like could almost keep up with some of the receivers this year, as opposed to last year where they would just blow by.
From what I've noticed, if you pick the right defense for a play, your guys seem much faster. You know, you still get the occasional a linebacker comes up and then will stop and let himself get blocked, like that happens. But I think linebackers are the speed that they should be. They fly downhill and make these tackles and things like that.
I don't know what you're complaining about. I was stuffing Frank Gore.
Well, I was playing as the Niners because I don't want to play as the Giants.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that's your opinion.
So anyway, we'll keep playing the demo and we'll keep updating you guys as the game comes around.
So that's it for our Gamer Chat. Tune into our other channels. Please check on it, comment, and tell your friends.